I've got some fake pass basketball moves for you that will help you destroy some defenders, get them jumping the wrong way, going somewhere that they shouldn't be going, and the crowd will probably go, oh, when you do them. So these moves are part of a playlist, which I will link you to at the end. There's like a whole bunch of pass fakes that I've learned over the years, and they're all pretty deadly. Add them all to your arsenal, and you're gonna be unstoppable. These are all moves that I have seen players do, that I have done, that I have taught to players, so they do work. I know I'm already gonna get some comments, oh, that'll never work. You just gotta make sure you're doing them the right way, which I'm gonna give you the keys in this video to do that. So let's jump into the first one. Come on up here and play some D. So here's what we're gonna do. A lot of times you've seen guys like, you know, the behind the back's great when a defender's really close, right? Because it gives me protection over the basketball. So that way, if you come try to get it, you can't really get into the basketball, and I can still get my crossover off, right? If I'm right here and doing a crossover, you can easily swipe at that, but if I do it behind the back, now you can't, right? So whenever I bring that ball back here, there's this expectation from you as a defender that the ball is gonna come this way. The other thing I got going for me is as the ball's back here, you can't see it. So you don't know what I'm doing with my hand, right? Well, what I'm gonna do with my hand is do this. Trae Young's used this, Steph Curry, I've seen a lot of guys do it. Basically, your hand's gonna come here, rotate it so it comes here, and then push it through. Big tip is I tap the back of your, like where your knee is, facing that way with your palm. Whichever way your palm faces, that's usually where the basketball go. Get a little finger curl in there too, that'll push the basketball even further. So if you're playing D on me, I gotta keep that in mind. If you're really tight, I don't wanna push it so it just comes straight through right to you, because again, if you don't fall for that fake, or even if you do, you could still like drop back, but still get that hand on this side at the basketball, right? So what I wanna do is get that extra finger curl, get that hand facing this way, so that way you can't get to it. Big thing with this too to keep in mind is don't let your hand come here. That's a carry. So when you bring it back, your palm should rotate just like this, okay? So focus on this hand, here, okay? Not here, that's a carry, here, okay? Push it through, curl those fingers so it comes more to the side, so I got space to get that dribble off. You can't get to it, and then I'll step through with this opposite foot. So whichever hand's dribbling, step with that opposite foot, boom, game over. One other thing, or two other things that I'll take it next level is as you're doing that, if you can lean your hips in your chest or maybe take a little step in this direction, that'll help sell it, and then you go moving. And if I can look this way, right? So you see like there's this expectation, either looking here, like I'm looking for the ball to end up over here, right? Or that I'm looking at a teammate to maybe do a behind the back pass. That'll give you that extra expectation that the ball's coming that way. And when you don't see it coming, boop, come back that way, beat you. Okay, this one is a little bit more street ball, but it is legal. This one you have to have your defender close to you. So if you're uptight on me playing D and you're like one of those pressure defenders that likes to get up in my face, I love doing this on defenders like that. So key thing you gotta keep in mind with this is they can't have their hands up like this, like up in like in a Y. You don't want that. You want their hands either down here or, you know, kind of to the sides here or down here, or potentially straight up. The reason for that is if they don't get those hands out of those positions, like if they have them right here, you really have no path to even pull this off. So what you'd want to do is like set them up by looking and kind of jabbing down low here to get their arms down low. Ideally you want them here or lower, okay? So I'm gonna sell like lots of fakes down here with low dribbles to set this up. And then if you got one of those defenders that's like, okay, I'm gonna try to come get the basketball and you come in here to try to get it, what I'm gonna do is go just like that. Now a lot of times what'll happen is when I do that, you're gonna spin in circles looking for the basketball. So where'd it go? I got it right here. So all I'm doing with that is putting it behind your head, handing it off, long arm so I can quickly get it behind you and then stretch those arms out. So now I got the space to get it around your head and just hand it off. It's a street ball move that like Skip to My Lou used to do, AKA Rafer Alston. He played in the NBA, so you know if he made it to the NBA and got this move off, he's legit and the move's legit. Ideally with this one, I mean, you can do this from the dribble, but ideally you'd want to do it like after you caught a pass from a teammate or something, so you still got your dribble alive and give yourself some options. But after you hit them with this and they like turn the wrong way or whatever, you can either go into a shot, but if you have your dribble alive, that gives you options to drive different directions as well, of course. Definitely something a little more street ball though. You might not want to do this. In fact, I'd say you definitely don't want to do this in like your team games with a coach watching. Okay, so for this next one, this is great for like on the way to the hoop. This is a fake pass that you're gonna do off the dribble on a drive right after you pick the basketball up. Rajon Rondo uses this a ton. It's the behind the back cuff. Now, there's some key things you want to keep in mind, especially if you have smaller hands or you're a younger player or not that long of arms. You might need to change the way you do this cuff. So what I'm gonna do though is the setup, I gotta make sure you're kind of close to me actually. It might seem counterintuitive, like you'd think, I want my defender far away so they can't get to the basketball, and that could work. If you're like way there and I'm here, I could sell this cuff fake, but like when you're really close to me is where I'm gonna really get you jumping and making you look bad, and then you're moving that way. At the same time, I'm gonna come back this way. So if I hit you with it right here and you're close, you're gonna jump. At the same time I come here, game over, right? So the other thing you wanna keep in mind is ideally, and you don't always have to have a teammate, but if you got a teammate there, it works better. But sometimes like defenders, like you can fake them just by looking here and selling that fake, and they might think you got a teammate there even if you don't. But if you got one running with you so they mentally know that, that'll really help set it up as well. Besides that, you basically want to bring it behind your back like this. So what's going on with my hand here is I'm gonna roll it into my forearm, because I could do this with my hands. I got pretty big hands, but I can't like always palm it. So what I do is I roll it into my forearm like that, okay? But it'll be like this. You're coming from the dribble, rolling it in like that, okay? So it'll look like this. And I'm just gonna continue that motion now and bring it behind my back. Now, a couple things that can help you out. Some players, they try to do it way back here. Better chance you're gonna lose the basketball if you're doing it like that. Keep it a little tighter to your back, and that's also gonna help sell the fake a little more. Versus if I do this, it doesn't sell the fake as much. So I wanna be more to the side. One other thing that can help you out is to even have the basketball like bump against your back here, just to kind of give it a little control and bounce back to this direction. But really focus on squeezing this hand to push the basketball into that forearm. That'll help you keep better control over it. The other thing you want to pay attention to is your steps, so you don't get called for a travel. So you want to pick it up on your first step with the same side hand as the hand that's dribbling, or the same side foot as the hand that's dribbling, I should say. So you're gonna be here, that's your first step. Start selling that fake ASAP. And then on your second step, you can step through and get that layup off. And of course, like any of these moves, you gotta make sure you look over here, right? I mean, you're not gonna do a behind the back pass. I mean, some people can really do no look passes good and not look, but it doesn't give the defender as much of a reason to jump. You wanna give them every reason to think like, oh, I know what he's gonna do. So they think they're smarter than you. And when they do that, boom, they jump the wrong way, and that's where you get those easy layups. Okay, this next one, again, is a street ball inspired move. I'm gonna show you a very legal way of doing it. And again, though, keep in mind, not necessarily something you'll wanna do with your coach on the bench, but this one they might be okay with if you do it the way I'm gonna show you. So what we're gonna do with this one is, sometimes you'll see guys do this off the dribble. So if you're up tight on me playing D, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be from the dribble, the street ball way would be like that. So I'm gonna bring the ball, kind of cuff it if it's easier for you. If you got big hands and good control over the basketball, you might not need to. And you're just gonna move in a circle, pushing the ball forward over your head. So I'm coming over the top of your head and then gonna continue in that spinning motion. Now, that's not legal if I'm gonna try to do that like off the dribble and then continue my dribble, right? Because that's like a carry, a double dribble, whatever you wanna call it. It's just not legal. So what you wanna keep in mind with this is, you want to do this after you've caught a pass or a rebound, you know, something where you've never used your dribble. So now you are in a position to do whatever you want with the basketball and keep a pivot foot down while you do this. And then from there, what you want to do is, whichever hand is dribbling that same side foot, you're just going to pivot forward, and you just want to do this really quick over the top of your defender's head. Now, maybe you've seen sometimes in games, guys will do like these passes where they'll pass it to a teammate and they'll add that little spin in for some flair. So you're kind of like faking that, but over the defender's head. And with the ball moving over their head where they can't see it, but now if you look up, boop, there it is, right? But if I do it quick and you can't see it, and then after that, my body's spinning, like all that happening quick, the ball's behind you, you think, and gonna keep going that way. I've spun, so it looks like I'm gonna sell that pass, or that I made that pass, I should say. That's gonna give you every indication to think that I made that pass. So just doing that from triple threat, one arm, extending it long, doing a little twirl, getting your dance on, and a lot of times you can get defenders with it. From there, once they start spinning in a circle, I can come here, I can cross over, right? I can do whatever I want because I still got my dribble, it's still completely legal. Just keep in mind that you're keeping this pivot foot down here so you don't get called for a travel. So this one you can use multiple ways on the way to the basket. You can use it as a fake pass or like a fake, like you're gonna do it behind the back and I'm gonna try to come around you this way. Either way, it's either a fake drive this way or a fake pass this way. I used to do this a lot as like a fake pass, and I would just come like this. So it's just like a behind the back cuff, but the only difference is it's a little bit easier probably. If you've got this down and you've got this down, like you could just practice both these things, adding this in will be super simple. All you're gonna do is come behind the back here like you normally would, and then just tap it and push it back. Boop. just like you're gonna do the behind the back handoff, but just push it back. And then as you're doing that, you wanna look this direction or look like there's a teammate here. 1, 2, get your layup off. So key thing on this again is your step, so you don't get called for a travel. So make sure you're picking it up. If left hand's picking the basketball up, left foot should be down, go behind the back in the middle of that step, take your second step, get your layup off. Other way, it's gonna be right hand, boop, left step, go. One big key for this to take it next level though is you ideally wanna do this close to your defender. So that way, like as I'm selling this fake, like I do this a lot, if I got a defender I'm coming right towards and I wanna give them a quick fake, like they don't know which way I'm gonna go. Am I gonna run into you? Are they gonna get the charge, right? Or sometimes if you're just to the side of me over here, you know, and I wanna sell this little fake. But if I got you facing me head on, this is the way I like doing it. I'll just almost do it kind of almost like a Euro step, but not as much of like a movement this direction. This first step, I'm just gonna take a little more towards the center of your body, but notice how I kind of get this toe pointing in that direction here. So that kind of puts a position for my leg to quickly come across. Because if I step like with my toe here, it's hard to cross over with this step and not hurt myself and get any power into that step. So what I wanna do is come here, stepping right towards the center of you, but with my toe pointing out, sell this fake, and then I can take the second step across and now get my layup off. That way the ball is hidden. You think right when I'm by you that there's a good chance I might come this way, so you're gonna jump hard because you don't want me to get around you that way, and then boom, I can come across and get that layup off. So that playlist that I promised you with all the other fake pass moves, you can check that all pinned to the top comment. Be sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you can continue to improve your game and get some oohs and ahs from the crowd. I'll see you in that playlist next. Make moves today.